I can do a demo of some publishing stuff. If I can get my Chrome to not rebel. So lots of stuff under the hood, like sort of just dealing with little edge cases has been kind of the story of the last week. Eli did a ton of work on our URL handling and stuff, gotten much smoother. And on top of that, we've now turned on publishing history to actually look not terrible, and actually let you move through it. So you'll see previously published versions of this document. So like if we go with that here, takes a second. You can see up here it says it was published. I've got a different visualization of whatever was going on here. And I can actually choose here to restore this as a draft. Open as new workbook will also be an option shortly. Same options that are up here in the banner. I can also go back to drafts that never got published and jump into those and do the same thing of restoring them. So if I go here and restore this, there's that restored draft. And then I could so this is really primarily designed for the recovery, I accidentally did something, I can restore his draft and republish it. But you can also use it for somebody blew away, tossed your draft and you want to get it back. So lots of nice stuff.
Luke, quick question. I'm presuming that we haven't done anything to dashboard history itself, but is that planned to be kind of related to this kind of thing or somewhere different?
It is related. Right now you cannot navigate to the dashboard in this history view, but that's trivial to finish. So we will have that soon. Showing the dashboard history. So one of the things you can actually do is go look at this version and pull up the timeline, see what happened in this version. What we want to do is actually have this be a merged view of all the things that happened to the workbook, the dashboard, and the model.
Okay.
That's a different project, but yes, I mean that's the eventual dream, is that we can show you all that. The nice thing is that once you can navigate over to the dashboard, you can look at it and be like, oh, this is the one I wanted. One thing that came up was we probably want to have this publishing history view available in the dashboard, because you're probably going to be jumping through the dashboard looking for that one version that had something in it. So that probably won't be available for first version, just because there's more things there. But the nice thing is if you know roughly the date, you could always jump to it, restore the draft. So I can, if I go restore this and jump to the dashboard is exactly the state it was at that point in time. So it's a little bit of a not awesome workflow quite yet, but we'll smooth it out to be super smooth.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
One thing that I did in the model history view is I added the ability to just tag things with a description. And then I started automatically tagging history entries with descriptions for kind of larger events, oh, this thing got promoted or this thing did this, or and it really did make the history entries more navigable. So I don't know if there's a way to slot in a mechanism to actually add additional metadata to the draft event.
Yeah, the plan is, the goal was to keep publishing as lightweight as possible. So we didn't want to have to ever make you tell us a commit message or something like that. But the plan is definitely support letting you annotate your publishes. Ariel might be around. There's been some back and forth of is that the job of using branches, and you should actually use branches to annotate those or not. I think there's probably going to be a middle ground of people who don't want to go all the way to branches but still want to annotate their publishing, or even little changes like that. So it would be fairly trivial to add that, a place to put that metadata. We just haven't gotten there, but that's great feedback. And we've heard a little bit of that before. Some of the summaries are pretty unhelpful. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, this is getting more and more ready. This needs to go live, and then the last major piece is getting schedule support in, which we'll be picking up next week. I think we have a pretty good plan there that should, I think, go pretty quick. We'll see. Lots of little edge cases in that scenario, but we kind of figured out a plan to work with the edge cases and be okay with it. So yeah, we're going to keep trying to roll this further forward.